everybody. Welcome back to my bush. Welcome back to me talking my little bush.
Let's do a quick levels check because they are never correct. Saturday.
Oh, man, that's right. We got a Joe check.
Because you're not going to achieve effort equality. There's certain people who are just going to always work harder than other people. This idea of like, we need to redistribute. I was watching this maddening conversation where this f***ing dork was trying to say that all money over $3 million that a person makes should be taxed at 90%. Like, that's great for you to say, because you're never going to make $3 million, you fucking idiot. But that's so stupid. The idea behind it is so stupid. The understanding where that money goes is so stupid.
I think it should be 90% over for every dollar you make over $3 million.
Where this dork was trying to say that all money over $3 million that a person makes should be taxed at 90%.
All right, I got to kind of do a little bit of a full disclosure on this one. I looked through the Spotify episode, this episode, and I could not find this bit, which either means this is a goddamn AI.
Now we got to deal with this bullshit.
You know, oh, that was a fake Joe, maybe. That's where we're at, dudes. Maybe this was a fake Joe. Or they probably cut it out. Spotify, he probably cut it out on Spotify, Joe did. Or I just missed it because I'm a moron. So it's one of those three. Assuming this is not a fake Joe, and this clip is real. You know, I have seen in responses of videos that I made about Joe, they're like, tear Joe an ass. Tear Joe, this piece of shit, you know. People hate Joe, and I get it, you know. But this is one of those clips that it's like, this is one of the many clips we have of Joe that we know exactly what Joe is. He's just a goofball who has way, way too much money and influence. He's just in way over his head. But just to poke a couple fun little holes in Joe's argument, if Joe was just like, I have a lot of money from Spotify and other crap, I don't want to give that to the government because I feel like they're corrupt. That's like a little bit more of a nuanced argument. But he starts this thing off with effort. People who put in more effort have more money. He's basically saying. And, you know, just to poke a couple fun little holes in this, even if you read like a pop get rich quick book like Rich Dad Poor Dad or whatever, what do they say in those books? They say, hey, own some stuff. They all say you're not going to get rich by working. Own some stuff, you know? Stocks. That's owning a financial asset that grows in value. It's making money from money. That's the way to get rich. Is that more work? Is that more labor? Not really. Even Joe Rogan is even Joe Rogan himself is kind of an example. Sam Seder puts in way more effort to his show. Joe Rogan goes, Sam Seder's never going to make $3 million, this dork. Even though Sam Seder, without a doubt, if you watch the Joe Rogan program, I watched 3 hours of Joe Rogan yesterday to try to make fun of with Bert Kreischer. I mean, it's literally the least effort content I have ever seen in my life. Sam Seder puts about 100 billion times more effort into his show than Joe Rogan. So, I mean, it's, you know, we have learned something from the Joe Rogan program, which is that,
generally speaking, Chinese people look Chinese.
Generally, guys. I mean, really, it's kind of an interesting thing to even think about as a little experiment in your noodle. Like, what would the world look like if people just got money based on who puts in the most effort? Would look totally different. Like who has wealth would look totally different. So it's just, you know, have me on, Joe. And have Sammy on. Have Sammy Seder and Emma on. Why not? You know, you'll hear some unpleasant stuff like,
wipe your ass with them.
Oof.
And the Chinese Communist Party knows this, and I don't speak for everyone, but there are those on this committee, including myself, who believe that the Chinese Communist Party is engaged in psychological warfare.
Whoa.
Through TikTok.
Now, is that specifically speaking or?
Generally speaking.
To deliberately influence U.S. children.
Oh, hell yeah, everybody. I finally got to watch these 7 hours. Jesus Christ. 7-hour TikTok hearing.
Some really amazing stuff in these TikTok hearings. I was like, wow.
These people are really doing a good job with this stuff. Check this one out here.
Can you tell me right now, can you say with 100% certainty that TikTok does not use the phone's camera to determine whether the content that elicits a pupil dilation should be amplified by the algorithm? Can you tell me that?
We do not collect body, face, or voice data to identify our users. We do not.
You don't?
The only face data that you will get, that we collect, is when you use the filters to have, say, sunglasses on your face. We need to know where your eyes are.
Why do you need to know what the eyes are if you're not seeing if they're dilated?
And that data is stored on your local device and deleted after use if you use it for facial.
Let me ask you this. Are you familiar with Ice Spice?
Ice Spice?
Because I'll tell you what, I've seen these TikToks with that Ice Spice.
I'm going to go ahead and admit it here in front of Congress that I have fallen in love with that Ice Spice.
That's a nefarious plot, this Communist China party. It's just, all I'm saying is unfair that I could never have her.
Does TikTok access the home Wi-Fi network?
Only if the user turns on the Wi-Fi. I'm sorry, I may not understand the...
So if I have a TikTok app on my phone and my phone is on my home Wi-Fi network, does TikTok access that network?
It will have to access the network to get connections to the internet, if that's the question.
Who's this guy? Rich Hudson. He's a Republican from North Carolina. I love that. I love the way he frames that because it does sound scary. He's like, can I ask you a question? Can TikTok go on my Wi-Fi? That's what this whole hearing is about, but it does sound scary. You know, are you telling me that in my home, on my computer, in my home, that I could go on the internet? I think my favorite example of what this whole TikTok thing was about is the guy from Georgia. This guy's amazing. What is this guy's name? He's some guy from Georgia. He came up with this thing where he's like the Chinese Communist Party is doing psychological warfare on children. And how do they do that? Challenges on TikTok.
The Chinese Communist Party knows this, and I don't speak for everyone, but there are those on this committee, including myself, who believe that the Chinese Communist Party is engaged in psychological warfare.
Whoa.
Through TikTok. If you look behind me, Mr. Kirk, you see some of the challenges that we've seen on TikTok. You know about them. You know about the milk crate. You know about the blackout challenge. You know about the NyQuil chicken challenge.
Huh?
Do they have these same things over there? Do they have these kind of challenges in China?
The cinnamon challenge. Benadryl challenge. Because there's no way in hell... Because there's no way in hell that teenagers in Georgia wouldn't come up with stupid crap. There's no way in hell that an American teenager on their own wouldn't come up with the stupidest possible crap you can imagine. It must be, play the music, play that scary music, the Communist Chinese Party.
We rely on age gating as our key age assurance.
Age
gating, which is when you ask the user what age they are. We have also developed some tools where we look at their public profile to go through the videos that they post to see whether...
Well, that's creepy. Tell me more about that.
It's public.
Well, at least the American taxpayers got one good thing from this hearing, which is...
That's creepy. That's creepy.
Huh?
That's creepy.
Oh, sorry. Okay, there's a lot more funny stuff in this China TikTok, Communist Party China TikTok hearing. But I wanted to read a little bit of this article from Gizmodo by, who's this person's name? Shoshana Wadinsky. This is from 2020. It's called, It Doesn't Matter Who Owns TikTok. This is really interesting. The whole point of this Communist Party China Ice Spice TikTok hearing is that they're getting our data. Over time, what's become very, very clear is that while, say, Google and Facebook and TikTok are ultimately at the whims of local regulators, the same can't be said about the digital Rube Goldberg machine of platforms, subsidiaries, and shady third parties these companies use to churn our data into massive profits. They're talking about like the advertising crap, basically. Our current digital economy, to a certain degree, depends on global ties that are built to run far deeper than any ban or buyout could ever hope to touch. In other words, what this person's saying, and if you look into this, this seems to be true, that banning TikTok really won't do anything because you get if you want this data, you get it. So if this kind of doesn't make any sense, banning TikTok, we're going to ban TikTok or our data, they're getting our data, China, from TikTok. if it's not if that doesn't make any sense, then what is this about? Well, this is a big waste of time, mostly, but it's also to be like, China, you kiss our ass, China. We're gonna do some Cold War. In the mind, in the mind of most people, TikTok is associated with China, and they're like, we're gonna kick your ass, China, you son of a bitch. It's sort of weird that it's all Republicans saying this is a danger to the children. The same Republicans who, like, all their Christmas cards are them and their kids. Their kids are holding, like, the gun from Scarface with a machete attached to the end of it for their Christmas cards. But the real danger is that goddamn Ice Spice dancing around. Also, you're going to ban it. I think the biggest age demographic on TikTok is 18 to 34, something like that. So the free market.
Another parent said, we let our daughter try it out. The feed was continuously suggesting sexually explicit, stupid, and vulgar videos. We discontinued.
I love that part because that's probably true. Most of the things on TikTok are stupid and vulgar. You look at these stupid, vulgar things and you go,
that's creepy.
If there's one thing people in America hate, it's stupid, vulgar things. Stupid and vulgar definitely shouldn't be in our national anthem.
Used to address that. Are you afraid of the Chinese Communist government?
No, because you can find that content
that,
on our platform. Any content that our users want
why
to
couldn't
express
your
their
vice
views on this
president
issue
of
is
public
freely
policy,
available on our
the guy
platform.
who's head of public policy for the Americas, and on an American television news channel?
Yeah.
Why couldn't he condemn that?
I think it's very important to look at our platform, and if you use and open our app
I'm not
and
talking about
search
your
for any
platform. I'm
content.
asking about your personnel now.
Where's this guy from? Alabama. We have a saying in Alabama. It goes like this.
That's creepy.
I love Alabama. I love Alabama. I love the South, But this guy right here should be embarrassed. He should be ashamed of himself and should never be seen in public. This guy for this. Going on. Oh, the real threat to our children in Alabama is the Chinese Communist TikTok. Report, Alabama child well-being ranks 47th.
That's creepy.
In the U.S. But I'm focused on the right thing. Like, what are you doing? This should not be like top 1,000 on your list in Alabama. Now, Mr. Chu, can I ask you, do you know Ice Spice personally? Is there any way you get her to come down to Alabama? Never mind. I'll figure that out on my own.
TikTok's recommendation engine
drives usage on the platform, and this leads to promises of quick exposure and fame that leads to even more people joining.
Oh my God, it does?
That's creepy. That's creepy.
And when you sign up, TikTok starts collecting data about you, your location, your gender, your age, your facial data.
No way.
The user never gets to the end of the content, and that's by design.
Yeah, there's a lot of this kind of stuff in this 7 hours of this thing. There's a lot of this kind of stuff where it's just like, you're describing all social media. So people get on there, they think they're going to get famous, and there's an algorithm, and the content never ends, and it collects user data. That's sick. China. China's doing some real sick weird stuff, and there's only one thing to say about it, which is
that's creepy.
But there's a lot of this in this thing. It's sort of like the Wi-Fi thing, that Wi-Fi guy. It's just sort of saying things in a way that sounds scary. Oh, you mean there's a thing you go on, you upload video of yourself? It's a bit thin, is all I'm saying. It's a bit thin on actual anything.
Without objections.
This guy's pretty great. He's from Florida. My home state. Represent.
That's creepy.
The project assigned this to a Beijing-led team, and they were going to follow individual American citizens. I ask you again, Mr. Chu, has ByteDance spied on American citizens?
I don't think the spying is the right way to describe it. Right. This is ultimately...
We can differ on that.
This is ultimately an internal
Any
investigation.
TikTok or ByteDance data that is viewed, stored, or passes through China is subject to the laws of China. One-party authoritarian state hostile to all American standards of privacy. And like fentanyl analogs, which we all know are also manufactured in China, although they are illegal there.
Yep.
I fear TikTok will go into
Yeah, there's a lot of that kind of stuff in this thing where it's like China's infiltrating the United States with TikTok and drugs. A lot of this kind of stuff. But this is funny too because also the Republicans are supposed to be really upset about the Twitter files. And probably like the only interesting thing in the Twitter files was that, it did show that the United States government does look at the data from these social media companies. He's like, they don't have the same, China doesn't have the same standards of privacy as we do here with this data. Well, I don't think that's true, buddy. And I would say that
that's creepy
because, then you could get weird stuff, much more likely stuff like, oh, they're looking at the data of people to prevent protests and stuff like that. That's
creepy.
So it's all kind of bullshit. I would say 7 hours of just bullshitting,
TikTok owned by the Chinese Communist Party.
Yeah. Let's check it. We got to check on what Chuck thinks of, because I was watching all this. I was like, I got to get some commentary on this. I think Charlie Kirk's got some pretty good insights into TikTok. Check this out.
We don't have we have enough evidence for me to say this.
Yeah.
I on good authority believe, and I think any rational person would, that the Chinese Communist Party military installations are programming the algorithm to make our children more likely to be trans, to try to get young men to be ashamed of their country. The CCP has a gateway into every single one of our kids via TikTok.
That's creepy.
Why are we putting up with that? That's a political question.
I hate social media.
Let's see what else he's got to say about this crap. Here we go.
Media as it is. I have none of the apps on my phone. I'm super blessed to be able to have a team that publishes all of our stuff for me. I think TikTok, Twitter, which I'm not on anymore. It's awesome. Instagram and YouTube destroy souls.
Disgusting.
We got along really well as human beings before these ridiculous applications. I say this as a total hypocrite, by the way. I have like 7 million followers on all these platforms.
Okay.
That's creepy.
I hate all this stuff. I'm tweeting all the time, though. And I have all these followers that I bought. But I hate it. It's my whole career, really. But I hate it. That's for sure. I'm working from the inside. I'm an inside man. They're going to take it down from the inside. Thank you. I'm Charlie Kirk. Bye.
I'm Charlie Kirk. And don't forget my famous catchphrase, which is...
That's creepy.
And it's also...
Okay.
So there we go, guys. Big shout out to Tink Tonk. Big shout out to Ice Spice. Big shout out to the Chinese Communist Party. Anyway, guys, hope you're having a good week, right? We're getting through. It's Wednesday, which is sort of the... I'm like...
I look at Wednesday and I say, all right,
Hope you're doing some
violent crime.
And you're going like this.
I'm calling bluff.
Thanks for watching my video, guys.
The data will be stolen and sold, but I do it all for you. I say that's the sacrifice I'm willing to make for you, the viewers.
Talk to you guys later, and bye.
Oh, hey, guys.
Guess what? You're not even getting the whole show. If you want every episode and a whole bunch of other
subscribe on Patreon.
Subscribe on Patreon for as little as 2 bones. Just click the stupid little link below the video in the comments.
See, right there.
There you go. Click it, and that, yep. When you become a patron for as little as 2 bones, you get the Tuesday, Thursday, patron-only episodes. You also get the weekly Book-a-Blega show where we talk about important books. The questions and comments thing where you can ask questions and make comments and all this crap.
And the weekly behind-the-scenes show.
All for less than the price
of a rancid Charleston chew.
And for only 25 putrid little dollars,
you could become a producer.
That's right, support the show and get your name up here. Look at these people. Look at these people that make the show possible, okay? God. I mean, without these beautiful people, this show goes straight into the dumpster. A rotten, just wet, disgusting dumpster, behind a restaurant. So there's old milk in there. That's where this show ends up without these people. Is that what you want? Okay, I guess it's what you want. I'll just leave. Nope, it's done. It's too late. Okay? here we go. Here's the dump truck. Here's the dump truck come to pick up the show. This is what would happen with no producers. Thank you.